Mr. Rohan, you've taken this. Yeah. From confirm view to come up stage. We have 10 minutes to go.
Confirm you. We are basically a credit score company based out of Singapore, and we have a regional office in India. And we are basically, this company is primarily giving loans to people who don't have banking facilities. These are the people who are unbanked people, people who are like, the lower strata of the society. This would be small shopkeepers, farmers. This would be like people selling vegetables in the rural market. So what is the opportunity and what is Confirm You about? I'll just tell you. So as mentioned, it's a 3-minute game that opens credit access for 3.7 billion underserved people. People basically who are below the poverty line. So how do we do it? We are having a gamified psychometric based credit scoring with no need for financial history. So if you have something like a CIBIL, Equifax, Experian or CRIF Highmark, they require basically your financial data. We have the real-time data which we take from the borrowers, and that's more on the intent to pay of the loan from the borrowers. Where do we provide our service to? Whom to? There will be telco, insurance, financial services and retail sectors. And we have our own technology which leverages behavioral traits to predict loan repayment. So what is the problem in this and what is the solution which we are giving? So traditional credit scoring leaves out around 3.7 billion people. So people from the lower strata of society, they do not get loans because banks do not find them credit worthiness. They don't have any proper credit score. So here we step in and basically give them basically a credit score through a gaming model. This is a 3-minute non-invasive game whereby we find the spending and saving traits of the borrower. So what is the financial, so we'll go step by step. So first of all, as I said earlier, like CIBIL, Equifax, they require financial history, not behavior. The financial history dependency is there. But we do not want that. We just want basically a simple questionnaire. We ask to the borrowers what kind of, what is the behavioral traits. I'll just come to that later on. The people who are excluded are 3 billion people, globally, who lack credit services, preventing loan access. And how much the potential is around $3 trillion US, whereby we can step in, and get this much, kind of revenue in this particular product. And who are these people we are talking about? So I just gave you some farmers and small shopkeepers in the rural villages, but also the gig workers, the people who come to you from Zepto or from Blinkit, from Porter, all your courier boys, so all these people also can avail of this particular credit score and get a loan. And the informal economics are left behind. These are the people, and also the youth, like, younger generation. Okay. Now, what is the 3-minute game about? What does it tell you? So the credit decision is just in 3 minutes. It doesn't take a lot of your financial data, which is required in the CIBIL Equifax. And it is done through the AI, ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning classifier, predicts borrowers' intent to repay. How much, basically. And the data collection. It collects psychometric data on the user's behavioral traits. So I'll just expand on the behavioral traits. So it is something like, suppose we are over here at Goregaon and I'm going to the international airport. So I'll give you 3 options in the game. So one would be by Ola, Uber. Second would be by a metro. Third would be by bus. So if you're a spending guy, and basically want to go, you'll go by Uber, Ola. If you want to save money, you'll go by the metro. So that means you have saving traits if you are going by metro. Beyond this, there is like mental ability, mathematical ability. So let us say if I give you 5 dozen mangoes and I take 15 back, so what is remaining? So we'll ask you those in real time. You step into a shop, how much would you like to bargain? We'll ask you that also in real time. So that means you are having bargaining traits also. So these particular traits are given a score or a weightage. So it will be your spending and saving ability, your leadership qualities, your mental ability, your mathematical ability. And at the end of the game, after 3 minutes, a credit score is generated, which is then given to the lender. So it's B2, B2C. So it will be like SBI, Confirm You, and the step-down borrower. So once the lender gets the particular score, then they can decide if they want to lend or not to lend. And this particular game is very simple. It is given to rural folks, it's a visual game requiring no literacy or financial history, So it is more on the intent to pay of the borrower once he has taken the loan, if he want to pay back the loan or not, more than the financial data which is taken by civil, and it is very simple to play, and you have like rural folks playing, and you have their son or someone having a Android phone, and there you can, it can be integrated into API also in your laptop, and also into the app. So how it works, so it's embedded, as I said, directly into the credit risk process. It focuses on trades predicting financial consistentness. This is what I said in the last slide, which is basically your spending and saving trades, your mental ability, mathematical ability, etc., etc. The validation is extensively there. We are currently, Aditya Birla is using us a credit score, so we have got this validated also, and it is accessible to anyone with a mobile device. The market opportunity, again, I'm repeating, it's huge, 3.7 billion potential customers. This would be like sub-Saharan Africa, Indian subcontinent. It would be parts of South America also where rural folks are there, and very below poverty line. It could be, somewhere in parts of Asia also, other part, West Asia also. So huge, around 3.7 billion people can access to this. And the industry sectors I mentioned is like telco, insurance, financial services, and retail. And it is also in developing markets. And what is the competitive advantage, So here, again, we have traditional and our advantage. So if you have a CIBIL, Equifax, Experian, and a CRIF IMARC, so require financial history. That's on your left side. And then, so we don't require, we have patent pending psychometric technology. Language dependent applications are there. So our works across language barriers. We have around 12 to 15 native languages in India, and also globally in lots of languages we are there. We are present in Agrobank, Malaysia. They are using our particular credit score. So it is in Malaysian language. Viz Motors, VIZ, which is in Vietnam. They are also using our credit score, and it's in their language. Long approval process, but in our case, just a 3-minute fast process. Is limited to consumer with records, as I said earlier, this thing, CIBIL, Equifax, Experian, etc. And this is for both consumers and SME without basically records also. The clients which we are having now, I'll come to that. Aditya Birla is using us, Aditya Birla Finance Limited. Visa Vietnam is using our product. Urban Money from Bangalore is using. Tnex, which is digital bank. We have just added Agrobank Malaysia. We have Viz Motors, as I said. This is the case study with Vietnam, how many people have used it, 200K to like 2 lakh plus users onboarded, 95,000 loan has been disbursed, 400 million will be underwritten under this, and 94% is the model accuracy through the Gini coefficient. This is the business model where we have, the licensing has been done. It's a monthly retainership or an annual add-on services. And these are our founders, Mr. Yatir Zaluski, founder and CEO, and Mr. Brendan Lagaji is the Chief Science Advisor, and I'm the country head from India. Are there any questions, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice day. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rohit Shinde here, Director of ConfirmU, country head from India. I'll be giving you a small presentation on our company, ConfirmU. So what is ConfirmU about? What is the credit score? What we are doing? So I'll start off with my first slide. So what is ConfirmU? It's basically a 3-minute game that opens credit access for 3.7 billion undeserved people. So what are we doing actually is gamified psychometric based credit scoring with no need for financial history. So we have like CIBIL, Equifax, Experian, CRIF IMARC. So most of these credit agencies, they have basically the banking data or the financial data. But we don't require that. We require only your psychometric analysis, real-time questions we ask you. It's basically used for the telecommunication industry, insurance, financial service, and your retail sectors. We have a certain technology of ours which leverages behavioral traits to predict loan repayment. The problem statement, what is there and how do we address it? We'll come to the next slide. Financial history dependency. So credit bureau relies on financial history, as I mentioned earlier. CRIF IMARC, CIBIL, Equifax, Experian. For us, we don't require any kind of financial history, financial data. It's real-time psychometric analysis. Global exclusion. 3 billion people basically globally lack credit. They don't have histories, preventing loan access. So these are basically your rural folk, rural small villages where you have small shops, you have small farmers, You have small women, who are basically small-time business of women are running, for making baskets. You have different kind of tea sellers in the rural folk. You have gig workers, people who deliver by Porter, by Zepto, by Blinkit, any courier person. And what is the untapped potential? It's around 3 trillion you can basically get, if you tap these people. And as I mentioned earlier, the gig workers, even the youth will qualify for this, and the informal economics are left behind. How is it done? So I'll basically just take you through it. So we have, first of all, we start off with the decision is just done in 3 minutes now. So we have a certain set of questionnaires, and it is done through AI ML classifier predicts, your basically AI ML is artificial intelligence and machine learning is engaged in this to predict the borrower's intent to pay. And the data collection is done by the psychometric data or users behavioral traits. I'll just get into the behavioral traits right now. So let us say, for example, we have right now here at Goregaon, I want to go to the international airport. I'll give you 3 choices to go there. So first would be your Ola Uber, second would be your bus, or third would be a metro. So if you're a spending guy, you will take the Ola Uber. If you're saving, then you will take the metro. So that means there is a personality trait whereby you have a spending and saving traits are there. So you're a saving traits in that. Similarly, you have like, I'll give you 5 dozen mangoes, I take 12 back. So how many are remaining? So that will be your mathematical ability. Similarly, when you're going into a departmental store or you're going any shop, you're bargaining to buy some things. So that will be a bargaining capacity. So that is again your trait, like, your mental ability. Then there would be leadership qualities. So there are certain weightages given to all these particular data which has been collected. At the end of the 3-minute game, this data is basically rounded up with a credit score, which is then given to the lender. So it is B2, B2C. So let us say it's SBI, confirm you, and the step down borrower. And once the data is given, then it is the bank which decides if they want to lend or not to lend to this particular borrower. And this accessible game it is visual game requiring no literacy or financial history. So people who are like ladies who are in the rural folk, they are basically using Android phones, from their relatives or anyone, the agents come and collect it. So they don't require any literacy or financial history. So basically, it's a very simple game, which they can play it, So anyone, it is accessible and very easy to everyone. How it works, so as I said earlier, it's embedded directly into the credit risk process. That means in your apps, once the apps are there, it is a download, it is integrated into the app. And over there, then basically, you can use it, the agent uses it. Trait analysis, I mentioned quite a lot about it in the last slide, the spending ability, saving ability, leadership qualities. These are all your different traits, which basically predicts financial consciousness. Validation is already validated by a lot of clients of ours. Aditya Birla is a client, Agrobank Malaysia. There's Viz Motors, VIZ, it's a motorcycle company in Philippines. They are using our product. We have instant access. You can access it with anyone with a mobile device, as I mentioned earlier. What is the opportunity? It is around 3 trillion untapped commerce market because the huge, before that I'll come to the potential customers would be around 3.7 billion people globally. So this would basically require, would be the entire Indian subcontinent, sub-Saharan Africa. It will be Southeast Asia, where you have a lot of this population, Vietnam, Thailand. It will be West Asia, it will be North Africa like Morocco, it would be Algeria, it will be Libya, even South America to a certain extent. Most of these countries, you have a lot of people who are basically below the poverty line, or in the lower end of the economic strata. And what is the opportunity in this? 3 trillion USD you can get in this once you integrate this. And as I said earlier, the sectors which are telecommunications, insurance, financial services, and retail. Global application with particular relevance in development markets are also there. So not only this is used for basically the credit score for normal people who don't have any banking facilities, but it can also be used for people with CIBIL score as an additional layer. And these are the requirements which are there. So how it is done, how it is worked out. So basically, what is vis-a-vis a CIBIL or us, how we are different. This is just a breakup over there, the differential chart. So in traditional credit scoring like CIBIL, Equifax, Experian, so what you require requires financial history. But in our case, you have a own technology where we have psychometric analysis. Language dependent applications over here is just in English, but we have across language barriers 13 to 15 vernacular languages within India: Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu. And globally also we have in all the major languages in Southeast Asia, in Kenya, most of the places we have. In CIBIL, it takes a lot of time for getting the documents, but in our case, it's a very fast process. Within 3 minutes, you'll get the data. And it is limited to consumer with records, as I said earlier, people only who have CIBIL score. Here it is basically with consumers and SMEs, like, those who don't also have a CIBIL score, it can be done on them. So basically people who are unbanked or basically people who don't have banking facilities. What is the traction and validation? So who are our clients right now? So we have Aditya Birla Finance, so they are using a product. It has been used by Visa Vietnam. It is used by Urban Money in Bangalore, Tnex Digital Bank in Vietnam. It has also been used by Agrobank, as I said earlier, Malaysia. It is being used by Viz Motors, Philippines. There is MyFugo in Kenya. So these are the people. We have given basically a case study over here on Vietnam. So these were the metrics which are done over here. 200,000, that is 2 lakh people plus were onboarded in this. 95,000 loans were disbursed, 400 million people, it was underwritten, and the model accuracy is 94.1%. So that is the Gini coefficient. It's a different study. If you're interested, I'll let you know about that also. What is our business model? So we are basically have an annuity model, whereby every year we take something from you, or a monthly base by the number of users, let us say 5,000, 10,000 from each and individual clients. The customer integrations are done. So basically, as I mentioned, some kind of credit score is there, traits are there, we're asking you certain questions, which is, we have 3 versions, rural, urban and semi-urban. But there could be sometimes banks which they want to have their own questions asked to the borrowers. So we can also integrate that in the game and ask these particular questions to the particular borrowers. So that's why these custom integrations are there. And the add-on services are also there, like, it can be used for your HR exit interview. It can be for any questionnaire base, it can be used like. These are our global founder and CEO and promoter, Mr. Yatir Zaluski. And basically, this is our CTO, Mr. Brendan Legance. Thank you very much. Any questions, I would be glad to answer. Okay, thank you.